Forson, and today we're going to talk about my breast cancers here. Yes, I have breast lumps. I was in denial at first, and then I got scared about it, and it has been a rough year because of that. And right now, I'm here to decide if I want to take out the lumps or not. So let's just talk about my lumps. Okay, so I noticed I had a really huge lump in my right breast, roughly in JSS 1, JSS 2, that'll be around 15, 16 years there. And I didn't see the need to be scared because I thought, okay, that's just my breast. And I know some of my girlfriends had like big lumps in their boobs. That's just basically what their breasts were made up of. So I just don't mind, just a tiny thing. And I just went with that. So skip to secondary school. We're supposed to do, health screening and tests, and a breast scan was one of them. But in this case, someone checked for me, and this was a guy, an elderly doctor. And he did check my breasts and didn't say anything, about my lump. So I thought, okay, then I'm actually quite good to go. Now, move forward to university, and we're having one of the breast cancer awareness, screens in my school, which was last year. And people from Kolebu came to Ashesi to test that, and I decided to go and check it out and try it out. And the lady who checked me, after she checked me, she just looked at me and she was like, do you know you have a lump? And I was like, yes. She was like, it's a very huge lump. I was like, yeah, I'm aware. And then she called another lady to come and check it out. And then she also gave the same, reaction, like, you have to write your name down, and then you write a referral letter, I think that's what it's called, to another doctor in Kolebu. And I, was a little bit taken aback because they were acting, a little bit weird about it. So I thought I was in trouble. And I had to call my mom and my sister right afterwards, because my sister is a doctor. Just ask them, tell them about what's happening. And then, maybe 2 weeks later, I went for a breast scan in a private hospital. I couldn't go to Kolebu because the queue was very long. So I went with my boyfriend at the time, and thank you. I had a breast ultrasound. Now, before I entered the room, I thought something weird was going to happen to me. So, just so you know, a breast ultrasound isn't anything complicated or painful. So they just, the way when you're going to, pregnant women are going to check their babies, they actually put some fluid and then use a scanner, I believe, or something like that to just rub on, and then they can see what's happening inside on a big screen. So that's what they did for me and my boobs. And then they sent me out, and then in 20 minutes my scans were ready. And then so those scans don't, the things written on the scans, I did not understand. They're written in doctor language. So I had to go to a doctor for the doctor to read it and then tell me whether it's good or bad. At this point, my body count or my breast count, no people who have touched my boobs are 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people I do not know have touched my boobs at that point in time. And so we had to, my mom's friend is a gynecologist, and then she checked me as well, so that's 5. And then her concern was that she realized that in her medical opinion, I had nothing to be scared of. And so she just referred me again to a natural breast doctor. I don't know what they're called actually. And he was in Kolebu, so I had to plan an appointment with him Went there, spent like 2 hours before we could meet him. And then when I went in there, he used to check my breast. There's like 5 people now. And he was very, very thorough. And he said, oh, actually, there's nothing wrong with your breasts, from his medical opinion. And like after his, search. And he said that to be sure, I had the choice of doing a biopsy. I didn't know what a biopsy was then, and now I know, and now I've experienced it, and it's important, it's essential, it's needed, but it can be painful. And it's just one of those pains where you're like, ugh. Yeah. So if I scared you there, well, I was scared also, but here I am now. You need to do a biopsy if you have to. And so the process of the biopsy was he laid me down, and then, of course, covered up like from other people. It was in his office. So he has a bed. It's a doctor there. You know what I'm talking about, right? And then, so he gave me an anesthetic. I believe that's what they're called. So that's supposed to numb the pain. Now, how this worked, the anesthetic was painful in its application into my body. So he had to inject, it was kind of like a brown fluid. He takes it and injects it into my breasts, right? And I had a burning sensation in there. It was kind of like it was burning. I could feel it going through. It was burning. I said burning a number of times. And then he cuts it and tells me not to look because, I don't know, but I wanted to look because it already cut me. I mean, it's my body. And so I tried to look and he tried to stop me, and I eventually looked, but I couldn't look so far. So he cut underneath. He did it such that it wouldn't be a visible cut. So that means he cut on my areola, right? The darkened spot on your breasts, near your nipple. He cut the circumference of it, just a tiny cut. Well, in his opinion, a tiny cut, but well, it didn't feel that tiny. And of course, there was also blood coming out. At that point, I know. I never knew there was blood in my breast. It never occurred to me that there could be blood in my breast. Sorry. Well, yeah, it was all the blood. And then after he injected it, after he cut it out, then there's this really long needle thing that they use to cut the tissue. So biopsy basically is the process of removing tissues or cells from your body so that they can be tested to determine if the tissues are cancerous or not cancerous or benign. Yeah. So there was really long needle, and it's like when you cut, it's like clip. It's like cutting. I don't know. I wish I would put a picture up here. I should. Just don't be scared, because it's not the entire thing that's entering. It's just like what he needs is to press the back so that the front can clip the tissues. So he did that like 7 times because he needs about 7 samples of my lump tissues, and then they put the tissues in a bottle. And I was so excited because I had these are my breast tissues. I should have a picture of it. If I do, I will put it up here. If I don't, because I did take pictures of it, but I'm I was very excited because after the pain, I had to have something to show my victory of going through that pain. And yeah, did he even sew me up? No, he didn't sew me up because I think it was that small of a cut. He just put let me just Google what they call that thing that they put on sauce. Gauze. Yep. And then I think tape to just keep it there. So the gauze was supposed to absorb. So it was supposed to absorb the blood. And yeah, it was pretty much it. It didn't seem like a big deal to him because he's done it a number of times, and he had actually just come from a surgery of treating a lady who actually had breast cancer. It was at one of the worst stages, And at that point, I was very grateful because his medical opinion, like I've had like 2 medical opinions, which were that it wasn't anything deep. He then sent us to another facility. Another facility, we were supposed to give them the tissues, and then they were supposed to run a few tests on the tissues and give us back the results. So they said the results will be back, will be ready in 10 business days or 10 working days. And yeah, the 10th day, they were ready. It was an Indian, I think it was an Indian company. Okay, so right now we're going to the Metro Lab. Metropolis to the histomology department. Yes, to see if these tissues are cancerous or not. In 10 days, it wasn't really, I think it was the 11th day, and then they texted my mom to come for it because I'm all the way in school in Bekusu and my mom is in Accra, so she had to go for it for me. Thank you, Mom. And then it turns out that it's not cancerous. We took it back to the doctor, the male doctor who had checked my boobs, the fit guy, and then he basically was like, yeah, I told you guys, right? It's not anything deep. And it's really annoying. Like, I don't know, I felt like, is this on the topic? From the first time that he checked me, I felt like he was doing it too much because like he was talking and touching it, and he was like, oh yeah, it's nothing wrong with your boobs. Okay, there's nothing wrong with my boobs, move your hands off my boobs, but I couldn't say that because my mom was there, and you know, maybe he's doing a doctor thingy, so I may have taken it wrong. But like, it's just one thing that I really didn't like about this whole process was the number of people who got to touch my boobs and I didn't even know them personally. Yeah. Alright, so his explanation of my breasts were apparently most young people have these types of breasts. So if you're in my situation, it could be that, of course, get checked, right? But don't be so scared because you have the possibility of just having breasts that the tissues just like to clump together, right? Just for the fun of it. That's just how they are made. They are dynamic, right? They just like to just clasp together and just group. So at this point, it was actually after the scan. You know, I said when I was small, I had this one huge lump. Well, relatively huge, depending on my cycle. So it's movable, by the way. So one of the few symptoms of lumps that are not so serious like mine are the fact that it's movable, so I can move it around, right? It doesn't hurt, there's no pus or something coming out of my nipples, none of that stuff. But actually after the scan, breast ultrasound, that I found out I had like 4 other breast lumps, and then I became more aware of the fact that they were there. So yeah, so that's just how my breasts are, and that's how possibly if you are in the same situation your breasts are. So you're aware of the process you have to go through. If you haven't done a breast scan, like the usual, raise your hand and then check up. I can put a picture of what you're supposed to do over here. I will put it up because it's very important. And since we are in the month of breast cancer awareness, you guys, ladies, please check up on yourselves and check up on your breasts. And then if you can't do it yourself, ask somebody you trust, preferably a lady, to just check your boobs, see if there's anything unusual about them. You always, whenever you wake up in the morning, always look in the mirror to see if there's anything different about your shape, if there's an indentation, if there's anything coming out, if there's discoloration, things like that. And the fact that I'm aware of my type of breast doesn't mean that I can just sit down and just be like, oh, I'm done with it. I've been through so much, so I'm done, worrying about my breast. No, because I have made it a choice to make sure that I get checked maybe once every other year. So yes, I've been checked last year, which means I have to check this year. So yeah, because you don't know what can happen. And some of us may have lumps that we can't even feel, so we don't even know that they are there. So please go and do the routine checks every day, and I think the best time to do the checks is after your period, because at that point your breasts are what they naturally are. Does that make sense? Like they're not influenced by hormones and all that stuff. So the shape is just how they are supposed to be naturally. The shape. Yeah. So yeah. I guess the lesson from this video is, if you have lumps in your breast and you're scared about them, you don't have to be so scared. Actually, it's best to get checked so that you know what to do with your body. Routinely checks, it could not only for your breasts, but for your entire being, because thank you, sorry, because you just don't know what's hiding in there, you know. So I hope this video didn't scare you. I hope it educated you about my process and what you can expect to go through if you find yourself in a similar situation as mine. So yeah, love your breasts. And I you know, I actually went through a process of I hate my body, because I didn't understand why I don't even have that much boobs and I have lumps. It just wasn't sexy at all. At this point now, I think it's probably influenced by the fact that I've had a number of people touch my breasts. I'm not so I've come to accept my body just the way it is. I've come to accept my breasts just the way they are. Not, you know, lumpy. Dog. That gave you a very wrong image. No, they have lumps in them. They're not lumpy. So anyways, thank you for watching my video. I hope that you learned a thing or two from this video, and go get checked. And don't be scared about it. If anything, you know, send me a message so that I would speak to you personally to help you if I can. Yeah. So if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, because why aren't you subscribed yet? Alright, love you guys, bye.